Ma'am, can we complain our company if the profession we have applied does not is not a profession they put on our visa? For example, we're caregivers, but they gave us babysitter visa. Well, it depends on the type of I guess visa and company that you work for. But in most cases, babysitter visa and caregiver visa, so those visas fall under what's called the UAE domestic law, and that's domestic employment law. So domestic employees and anyone in these positions, like as a caregiver or as a babysitter, are considered to be domestic employees. Domestic employees are subject to different laws, so they're not subject to the UAE employment law; they're subject to the UAE domestic law. Now, the domestic law has an annex of the type of professions that fall under domestic employees. And they could be teachers, it could be drivers, it could be babysitters, and so on and so forth. So in most cases, the designation that's reflected on your passport as a babysitter could be a function of that, is that it's not, that's a designation that was basically available for your particular position. Now, for example, if you're a nurse and you can actually be a nurse, that would be subject to domestic employment, and that is if you're being hired as a nurse for a private family. So in that case, that's, if you are that kind of a caregiver and you wanted to be a caregiver because you're a nurse and not a babysitter, that's obviously you have an argument. But in most cases, a caregiver and the babysitter in the UAE may be considered as kind of one and the same.